Welcome back to BookTok's podcast. This is Kayla.
And Marissa.
And this episode, we're going to talk about our January wrap-up and also talk about what we plan to read for February. So do you want to kick it off or should I kick it off?
Gosh, I had to pull up my Goodreads because I was like, what did I read this month? It feels like forever ago that I read some of these. I think because Alchemized took a longer amount of time to get through because it was 1,000 pages. But I mostly, almost entirely read thrillers this month and then Alchemized. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thrillers and Alchemized. So I did read 7 books.
So we're up to the same path. Let's see if we can keep that going.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm starting strong because I set my goal for 55 books this year, which means I need to do more than 1 book a week. So 7 in the month of January is like on track, I think.
Yeah, I think you're ahead.
A little, but I figure I'll probably fall behind in busy season.
So I was thinking, like, there's only 4 weeks in February, so I think you are 3 books ahead, technically. Ish.
But for those that don't know, we're both accountants, tax accountants. So we're about to be entering our busy season, which means reading and recording and doing the content is now going to be we're going to really have to practice self-discipline to do it.
This is pretty much our only free time, and we use it for this.
Yes, we have really committed this year to growing because for people who don't know, we've been doing this since 2020. We have been recording the podcast since 2020, and we are 4,000 strong on Instagram.
And 3,000 strong on TikTok. And we are 4 away from 100. We were at 98, and then 2 people unfollowed us, which I'm like, how rude. Also, it was coincidentally after I posted last night. So rude, but it's fine. We'll get there, but we're so close.
Yeah.
No, and we've been posting on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I think we have like almost 100 episodes on there, or maybe more than 100.
Yeah, we might have more than 100. I forget, but definitely at least, yeah, that's crazy.
I know.
We've been doing this for so long and we've not accomplished much, but that we have read a lot of books.
We've stayed together while being across the country, which I feel like is hard because we're both really bad texters. So I don't think if we didn't have this podcast, I don't know if we would have stayed friends.
Yeah, the podcast kind of is the glue that has held us together since I moved to Arizona.
It's pretty much our allotted phone calls.
Yeah.
Just we record them and post them on the internet.
Yeah. We catch up and everyone gets to hear that. No, it's good. That's good. So you read 7 books.
Yes.
I read 7 books. What was your genre breakdown?
So I read 2 just like regular fiction books, and then I read 4 rereads of Throne of Glass, like that series. I read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, and Queen of Shadows, and I am skipping Assassin's Blade. I understand the parts of Sam everyone loves. I just think the rest is like really boring. Like, I don't really care about like the desert people. I don't care about the guy with the spider silk. Like, I know it comes back, but like I already remember the gist of it, that like I don't care. I remember when I read it for the first time, I used to have to make myself go on reading sprints at night to get through it. I would set a timer being like, okay, you have to read for an hour and just read it. And I'm like, why am I going to do that to myself? So I'm currently in the tandem read with Tower of Dawn and Empire Storm, and I don't know what it is, but I like Tower of Dawn better right now.
That was my experience. And like, I was so in the minority. Like, people always talk about skipping Tower of Dawn. Like, oh, do I have to read it? It's so boring. And I ate that romance up. I was like, I don't know what it is about this book, but I'm living for it.
So I also feel like I get Kale a lot more this reread.
Yeah.
Like, I think when I first read it and I read Queen of Shadows, I'm like, this guy is a jerk. He's full 180. But I like get him. He grew up, his like loyalty is, he like is literally in love with Dorian. Honestly, I think it's a missed opportunity, her not making him and Dorian fall in love, because Cal loves Dorian more than anyone in the world.
Yeah.
And I get that, and like he's like accepting the loss of like what he knew. Like, he thought his like King was the best and Dorian was the best, and like he's realizing it, coming to terms with it, and he's just like so lost in himself.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone just like hates him, but like no, he like hates himself, and that's what Tower of Dawn is, and I really like it. I Empire Storm just makes me anxious. I
Yeah.
feel like it's the point in, like, Harry Potter, like, after what was it? After Voldemort, like, comes back and, like, it's kinda just, like, all dark times. That's
Yes.
what Empire Storm feels like.
Yeah.
Whereas you have Tower of Dawn and it's still the glimpse of, like, love and light and it's warm and it's nice, and that's why I feel like I like it, and I feel like you have to read it together or you need the balance.
Yeah. No. And do you remember what Kale's woman's name is?
I can't pronounce it.
Okay.
I know it's like Yrene. I'm so bad with pronunciation.
Urinen?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever her name is. I loved her. I feel like she is exactly who Kale needs, whatever. She is like hope and light and fights for what is good and right no matter what it costs. And like Kale fought out of loyalty to his king and loyalty to Dorian, but she brings just this fresh perspective and I think just makes him the person he needs to be to help at the end of the war. So I absolutely loved them. And yes, Empire of Storms is just dark. So having this light kind of it's not fluffy because there's still stuff going on, but this romance, like I honestly just see it as a romance kind of intermingled with Empire of Storms. It's so refreshing. And yeah, I felt like I was in such a minority being like, why did I love Tower of Dawn? Like I gave it 5 stars. And most people were like, skip this if you can. And I'm like, no, I loved it.
I feel like you need it. I love, because now, like, again, I didn't read Assassin's Blade, but I remember when Aelin and Urine, I think Urine, whatever, I'm really bad
Yeah.
at names, met in the inn, and like she really carries what Aelin taught her, like, to this day. So I love that. No, I love it. I don't know my take on it the first time around, but I would say I cannot imagine like reading this in real time where Empire Storm comes out. We have that ending. We hop into Tower of Dawn. So like you wait a year for a new book to know what the hell happened, and Sarah throws you Tower of Dawn. I
Yeah.
would have been pissed. I would have been like, what the hell?
Be why so many people hated it too, because it's like you waited a whole year to get a resolution to Empire of Storms. You're left on this kind of cliffhanger. You want to make sure Aelin Rowan gonna be okay. And boom, chicka pow, we get Kale. It's like, what?
I wish she would rage bait us more like that.
No, she totally could because everyone would buy it and read it and hype it up and whatever. And I mean, she could make so much money doing that.
Like right now, if she was to release like a freaking book about many waters and that stupid merman,
Which I don't know that anyone wants it, but like if she said, "Hey, I'm coming out with a new Crescent City book," we'd be like, "Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to Bryson Hunt?" And then it's the freaking merman.
so really enjoying my reread. I am getting itching to be done with it because I really want to start Red Rising.
Yes.
But then I read two fiction, and then I read I would say book of the month was The Woman in Suite 11. Our
Yes.
unofficial book of the month of January was Woman in Suite 11.
Yes, that was our unofficial book of the month by Ruth Ware, which we both read. And we're going to do a podcast episode on that. But I guess just as a like what I felt about it, I liked it. I'm curious to hear what you're going to think about it because you did not read The Woman in Cabin 10. And I did not realize how intertwined the two would be. I think I misspoke when I said The Woman in Suite 11 was a standalone because it was in a way, but it heavily relied on the backstory of the woman in Cabin 10, and you didn't have that. Oh, I think we're going to have really different perspectives on that book.
Yeah, the first 25% of the book, I would say, was just like connecting the two.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was not like lost, but I'm also like, why do I care?
Yeah.
And I feel like the real story started like about 40% in. You're like, oh, like this is what the mystery is.
Yeah.
Like I thought the mystery would happen at like the first location, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't.
Yeah. No, it was bizarre for me too, because by the time they get to the second location, yeah, you're like 40 or even 50% of the way through. Like you're a good chunk into the book. And now you've moved to a second location. And I was like, it's been enjoyable. Like I've been enjoying reading it, but nothing's happened. Like it's kind of just been the story of the main character's life. It's been fine, but there's not been any suspense or thriller. And like no one's really died. And then you get to the next location and things start happening.
it felt longer than it was. But no, I didn't dislike it, but yeah, I did wish I read The Woman in Cabin 10.
Mhm.
I guess the name probably should have give us a clue. That might have been a bad take on our part.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it at least, and I did give it, I think, 4 stars.
Oh,
So,
wow.
my rating system has changed so much. I honestly feel bad for books I rated a year ago because I feel like I went through a reader rage where I was just like, 1 star, 1 star, this is no good. I went through a reader high where I was like, 5 stars, everything's amazing. And now I'm like, you know what? If it's a good book, a solid book that I may or may not recommend, but it was fine, it's going to get a 3. And if it was absolutely amazing, the best thing ever, I'm going to give it a 5. If I DNF'd it 1, I really never use the 2 stars. The 4 stars is like, look, I liked this book. I think I'll probably recommend it. It's above average, so I'll give it a 4. Or if it's a 3.7, I'll round it up to a 4 on Goodreads because Goodreads doesn't have a point system. They need a decimal point system because, I would not say The Woman in Suite 11 was a 4, but it was a 3.5 or above, so I rounded it up for the sake of the rating. But I do, it's just, that's how I've been doing my rating system this year.
What I gave it. But so we did download Fable,
Yes.
which I do say I'm going to keep both, but it is quite nice.
I don't know how to use it. I did get a notification today, though, that you announced what our next book was going to be on Fable. And I was like,
yes, we made a club for BookTok's podcast, so please join. I believe I made it public. I actually don't know how to not make it public if I didn't make it public. So if it isn't, let us know because I'll figure that out. But yeah, you can set book of the month so our readers can read along with us, which I thought was really cool. And it's actually, it tracks how many days of the week you read, and it actually
okay.
tracks your shows too, which I feel like I'm in the middle of so many, I'm so chaotic with shows that I don't know if I want to track that well,
Yeah.
but I want to test it out.
The only time I got on Fable was when I downloaded it. Why is it asking for my birthday? But I downloaded it. I got on. I saw that we had a page and I started following it.
Yeah, I made us owner of the club.
Yeah.
That's all
But
I really learned how to do.
Okay, cool. I think I got an ad targeted at not millennials, probably Gen Z and Gen Alpha, being like, Goodreads is for old people. If you're cool and hip and young, you should be using Fable. And I was like, do I need Fable? Because, I want to fit in. I'm parting my hair in the middle now. So that's all I know about it.
I try and do both. I don't know why. I feel like I just had the urge to try something new because I feel like Goodreads they just haven't updated it since we've started reading. Also, you can make well, I guess you could do this on Goodreads, but you can have a do not finish, or you can literally mark that in Fable I'm not finishing this, which I felt like Goodreads doesn't even have that option.
No, you have to mark that you finished it, and then in your review write, I DNF'd or whatever. I feel like readers have been screaming at Goodreads for years about doing a point system because a solid 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 does not actually capture how you feel about a book. Because, honestly, I'm thinking about going back and changing the rating of The Woman in Suite 11 to 3 because a 4, it's really not a 4. I just hate tanking someone's, an author's score on a book because Goodreads won't let me do a decimal. And so that's why I round up. But yeah, truthfully, it's not a 4. So if there was a decimal system, that would be ideal. Goodreads, hear us out.
That's what I felt with my holiday romance books. I butchered the first book I read. I'm like, this is not good, 3.5. And then I read more holiday romance books that came out last year, and there were worse ones. And I'm like, I feel bad.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, whoever I was a year or 2 ago when I was giving terrible reviews, I'm so sorry. And whoever I was a year or 2 ago when I was giving 5-star reviews, no one trusts those. I was either in a reader low or reader high. I'm more stable-minded now. The meds are working, so you can trust my reviews now, not from a year ago.
I feel like I just rate based on vibes, honestly,
Yeah.
more and more. I forget what I gave Woman in Suite 11. Honestly, I think I gave it a 3. I was pretty bored.
I don't think we read anything else that overlapped this month. Wait, you said 4 Throne of Glass, Woman in Suite 11, and what were the other?
I did 2 fiction.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if you remember Rebecca Searle. We read her book a while back for the podcast. So I read 2 of her books. One was a 3-star and the other was a 5-star. They were very drastically different.
Okay.
Which, before I tell you about the book, I'm going to prompt you with this. If you could do a dinner with 5... Ooh, I just looked at this. If you could do a dinner with 5 people, dead or alive, who would it be?
Gosh, I don't know. Real people.
Yeah, like nobody in a book.
No fictional people. Real people, dead or alive. I don't know. That's hard. Honestly, I don't like having dinner with people. I have social anxiety.
So one of the books was called Dinner List, and it was like that was basically the plot where she like picked 5 people, and it kind of hopped around on like points of time why she added certain people,
Okay.
but it was also this like gut wrenching love story about like what like she invited this one guy who was her love interest. And I can't really I don't want to give the ending away, but it just wasn't, I don't know, wasn't it? Also, it's an old book and the audiobook is old. And the audiobook, like the audio reader was just like not it. So I feel like she knocked it a star, but like the main character invited Audrey Hepburn and it was like her dad, her ex, her like, old history professor, and then her
Okay.
best friend who she lost touch with. And I'm like, okay, why is Audrey Hepburn there? Like, do we really need her there?
No, that's just for clickable content to say you wrote about Audrey Hepburn. I don't get the like, I'm sure she was a great person, but that's so not our generation at this point, right?
Well, I guess Rebecca Searle might be like well, I guess she is millennial, and we're just like the lower cusp of millennials.
Yeah,
A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people fit in that millennial genre that are older than us.
that's fair.
Yeah, no, that one was a 3-star. Okay, so her other story, because all her books have like a little bit of magic in it, is expiration date. And before every date she goes on, she gets a piece of paper with how long the relationship will last.
Interesting.
Isn't it? I felt like it was a really good story. And it also like really showed how much like your intentions like changes something. So if like
Yeah.
you go into something you're like, oh, it's gonna last 3 months, like you don't put the effort in, but if it says like, oh, this is gonna last forever, like you're like, I gotta put the effort in, like I gotta make this work.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, what's her motivation for even going on dates if she knows it's not gonna pan out? Because, like, is it just for funsies?
Pretty much. She like pretty much
Okay.
has like super commitment issues because like she gets a piece of paper, it's like 3 weeks, 2 months, and you're like, yeah, what's the point?
Yeah, if I got a thing that said, 3 weeks, 2 months, whatever, I'd be like, okay, with my social anxiety, I don't want to have to go through meeting a new person, going through the get to know you questions. Like, that's just so tedious. And even if it said like 3 years, I'd be like, well, I don't want to get my heart broken in 3 years. That sounds miserable. If it were just going to end, like, why would I put myself through that?
Yeah, and then there was one that she like obviously didn't want it to end, and it was really good.
Mm,
So honestly, I recommend that. I won't give away the ending, but it was a 5-star read for me. That was the first book I read this year, and I really liked it. And I
yeah.
put her new book on my TBR list for 2026 because see, like her books are hit or miss for me. Like I loved In 5 Years. We read that Italian summer one. You didn't
Yeah.
like. I sort of liked it. It wasn't like my favorite. I loved Expiration Date, and then I didn't love Dinner List. So hit or miss, but I'm going to try it anyway. But I'm going to try and get into more just like regular fiction is my goal.
Okay. Okay. I'm not a regular fiction kind of girly. Maybe I haven't tried them enough, but I like the intensity of thrillers, the magical world of fantasies. And then for romance, that's like my palate cleanser. Or if I just need something happy that I know is going to follow the cookie cutter mold and have a happily ever after. Like, I don't want a heavy romance that's gonna, like, I've toyed with angsty romance. I actually really enjoy them, but they're not happy usually. Usually there's abuse and trauma and things in there that, may or may not have a good happily ever after.
I think I've been leaning more towards fiction. It's because it's not overly smutty. I'm just kind of like, I hope books pull back. I feel like authors were really throwing it in to like, satisfy the TikTok crave of like having
Yes.
smut in a book. And I just hope that changes eventually. And we go back to like a tasteful amount of it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Wuthering Heights,
Why now?
tasteful amount of smut from what I've seen.
Watch the coming attractions to it in the theaters. It's just like Bridgerton, where like their boobs are just like pushed up to
I
like their
know.
literal neck.
I know. I
It
know.
just kills me every time.
I'm like, my friend wants to go see it with me, and I'm like, is that going to be comfortable? Like, sitting side by side watching them get it on? But okay. No, I'm excited to see it. I've seen people go both ways on Instagram. People who are like, look, just don't consider it the classic. Just consider it a Margot Robbie, Jake, whatever his name is.
Jacob
Alordis?
Elordi.
Yeah, whatever, Alordi. Like, just consider it that, like, enjoy it for what it is. And I've seen other people who are like, it strays so far from the classic. This is an insult to the author. And I'm like, I think you and I are kind of just like vibes over over anything.
Always.
I'm like, I think it looks great. Like, I'm excited for it. We haven't read Wuthering Heights, so maybe once we read it, we'll be like, this is an insult to the author. But I kind of doubt it. I think we'll be like, woo, I'm excited for this steamy little romance coming out on Valentine's Day.
I know, we talked about reading it for this month. I do think we should read it. I just feel like we're not going to be able to read it fast enough before
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. We probably should have started it like last month, just because I know how long it takes me to get through a classic. I want to see it. Tom thinks is like a good Valentine's Day gift to go with me. But I kind of rather just like us go paint. Like I'm like, oh, we paint pottery, and he's like, we could do either that or Wuthering Heights, and I'm like, I think I'd rather paint pottery.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll like it. I feel like I'm not a true romantic reader for not like jumping at the bit.
Yeah.
But I don't always love. I mean, okay, I did love People with Me on Vacation. That was so good. I loved that it was brought into video. But I don't think everything needs to go into a movie. Like, I honestly would be very happy if Throne of Glass like never became a movie because it
Yeah.
lives happily in my head. I don't want it to be ruined.
Yeah. And we picture the characters the way we picture them. And so then you'll get all the controversy about, oh, who did they cast and why did they cast that person? And that's not how I pictured it. And it's like, we're all picturing a variation of something. And so I think when something's so popular like that and it gets taken to screen, I mean, that's just the first hurdle they have to get through. Then if they change it from its original, like, script or whatever, I don't know. I just, that happened with Karen Slaughter. I love Karen Slaughter. Her Will Trent series is now a TV show. And the person they cast to be Will Trent is not at all how he's described in the book. And look, I love the guy they cast. He does a great job. But the person described in the book is like a tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed man. And that's not who they cast. The plot of the very first episode follows the book exactly. And from episode 2 and on, you have a whole different thing. And I've kind of had to take the view, like at first I was a little upset, like, oh, this is weird that, they're not following the books at all. I've taken the approach with it that, look, it's inspired by her Will Trent books, but it's its own separate thing. And the show is truly enjoyable. I really enjoy the show a lot. But if you're expecting it to follow the books and have the same romantic interests and that kind of thing, it's not going to because they've adapted it completely differently. And I think that's been my approach, like with Wuthering Heights or anything else that gets adapted to screen. We just have to accept it may not be at all like the books. So if there are beloved books we don't want changed, we really need to campaign for them to not go to screen because they will get changed.
I do think all of Emily Henry's books going to screen like are the perfect screen books. Like I think they go really well. Honestly, I don't remember People with Me on Vacation well. We read that in 2021.
It wasn't our favorite.
It wasn't our favorite of hers, and people were complaining that they didn't follow it exactly. I'm like, honestly, it followed what I remembered. It was a gist.
And anything with Tom Blythe, whew, I love that man. I loved him as President Snow. I loved him when he was evil. I loved him. You know what? In my mind, he may be my future husband, and I'm not even sure of his sexuality. So we'll just leave that there. It doesn't matter. I love that man. I will watch him in whatever he wants to be in.
I would say I'm so excited for the Hunger Games coming out. Like that, I think that's what I'm most excited about this year.
I'm very excited about that. I saw someone comment on a video that said some series should only be trilogies, which I agree with. Someone commented, yeah, like the Hunger Games. I was like, excuse me, sit down because I'm about to go ham on you. Absolutely not. Yeah, I love all the Hunger Games books, and I'm very excited about the new movie coming out this year.
Everyone is speculating the next book is about Finnick.
Oh, dang. That's going to be, I don't know if I can read that. I mean, I will, obviously. I'm going to read it. But Finnick, everyone's been wanting that book, and I get it. His ending is just so tragic and so sad. And like, again, I saw a video where someone said, if they do a Finnick book, it's going to be sad because there won't be able to be an epilogue because no spoilers, there won't be able to be an epilogue because of Finnick's ending. And someone else was like, well, Annie could be talking about Finnick in the epilogue, like teaching her son. And I'm just like, I don't want to read about that, but also like I do.
Someone said they wanted, who was the one that was on their side in the second book? And she was like from the lumber area. She got naked in the elevator.
Joanna.
Yeah, people are saying they wanted her story because she is very big. Like she has such a presence in the second book, but we have no idea. Like I don't really know much about her games at all.
I love her so much. I think the person who portrayed her in the movies did a fantastic, amazing job. She's one of my favorite characters. I would love a book about her. I think it would be even more tragic than Haymitch's story, though. And Haymitch's story was extremely tragic. But literally, Joanna at one point says, you know, what are they going to do to me? Everyone I love's already dead. Like, all they can do at this point is kill me, so who cares? And like, it is just, oh, I love her, but it is so heartbreaking to think about.
So those books love screen time. Emily Henry's I'm a fan of. I'm not that excited about some other ones. I guess I'm trying to think of what else. People have been posting a lot of what's coming out. You know, a book, I don't know if you remember. Did you read this one? It Happened One Summer.
Tessa Bailey. Yeah, I read Hook, Line, and Sinker. I think that one was
the second book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nina Dobrev is starring in this. I love Nina Dobrev. I love Vampire Diaries.
No, I love her too, but
she does not have. She's getting
what?
old. I said she does not have the color hair of the act of the.
I don't want to say like she's getting old because she's probably like in her 30s or 40s. But like in our mind, she's that 16-year-old girl from the Vampire Diaries. So now when I see her, I'm like, oh man, like how was that however many years ago? But honestly, more and more writers are writing about people in their, which I appreciate, or 30s or 40s. So in fact, a lot of the thrillers I read about are people in their 50s. So, the casting is fine, I guess. Like, I'm sure she'll do an amazing job. She's such a good actress. And I kind of want to rewatch The Vampire Diaries, even though I don't have time to do it, but I kind of want to. Yeah.
And then also, you'll be excited about this.
Okay.
Bodyguard is also being made a movie from Catherine Center.
What?
And also, I believe Blair from Gossip Girl is like starring in it. I don't remember her actual name, but
yeah, I'm blanking on her actual name, but that is very exciting because I love Catherine Center. She is a fantastic romance writer.
So yeah, I think so. There are some things I'm excited about. I guess I'm not that excited about Wuthering because I just haven't read it. Maybe I'll become excited.
I'm excited about it just because I love Margot Robbie. I honestly don't love the guy, and I don't love his sideburns in the movie, but I do love a angsty, I know I'm not supposed to want you, but I can't help it kind of thing. And so since that's the whole gist is like they're not supposed to be together, but they have to be together. It's very scandalous. It's giving very Bridgerton, very Daphne Simon coded a little bit.
So have you watched Bridgerton? Speaking of Bridgerton-esque.
I have not. I kind of want to wait till it's all out, but I did see Benedict is being dragged through the mud for what he said to dear little Sophie about being his mistress. And the women online are furious.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that happened in the book.
Why, Susan?
It's been a while since I read that series, but I'm like 99% sure it's a line from the book.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Have you watched it?
No, not yet. I haven't really had time. So I've been watching Traitors. I don't know if you're into Traitors.
I've heard of it. People have recommended it to me.
I think you would like it. I think, I don't know, because you don't really watch reality TV. So I feel like the lore there is like I've watched. So recently, I would say last year, I started rewatching Survivor. But I also grew up watching Survivor. So it's a lot of people from Survivor, a lot of people from Big Brother that I've watched since I was younger. People from like Dancing with the Stars, Summer House, Vanderpump Rules. So like a lot of like reality stars that I know like half of. Love Island people. So that's, I feel like the lore where like you would like it. But I think they're casting like normal people going like for another episode season. So it's kind of like a whodunit. Like every night someone's like murdered and then you have to like guess who's murdering people. Okay. It's kind of like the mall that I participated in.
I was gonna say, you're a reality TV star. Do people know that?
I was like, shout out to Schmear Studios. most season, I want to say season 2 was it, but so it was similar to that concept, just, in national TV, and it's filmed in a castle and not in my friend's backyard.
Small differences, immaterial.
So once I finish that, and I'm currently watching season 24 of Survivor, because I'm trying to get all of them done by 50, which I don't think will happen, but it's like a hustle.
I used to watch Survivor a lot. I still watch it occasionally. A lot of times I don't start watching until they've already merged because I feel like that's when it gets more interesting. Because, like, keeping track of all the players throughout before they merge, it's like, okay, but half of you aren't even going to be here at the merge. So, like, why do I care to get to know you? But I will say I have two favorites. That is Boston Rob and then Rupert, the pirate.
Yes, yes. So Boston Rob played Traitors last season, but I remember like Boston Rob proposing to Amber on like
Yes.
live TV when we were younger.
And I remember, and this is hysterical, my parents being like, oh, it's never going to last. And he's only doing it for the $1 million because, whether he wins or she wins, now he gets the $1 million. And I'm like, 20 years later, they are married with kids, still doing reality TV together. So you know what? Love on Survivor is real.
So they have like a winners at war, and it's like they bring all the winners back and they both play, which I haven't gotten to. I think it's like season 40, so I haven't gotten to that part yet. But yeah, no, and their kids look just like Amber. It's like kind of scary.
I know. I'm
But no,
happy they
love
made it.
And Rupert, and I think him and his wife come back to play too as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm deep into the Survivor lore right now. So I will watch Bridgerton probably when it all comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to. I don't want to go on social media though, 'cause I feel like it'll ruin it with everyone's opinions.
Yeah, there are a lot of opinions. And I don't know. I just take things with a grain of salt. I feel like a year or two ago, probably more like 2 years now at this point, or 3 years, back when I was more on TikTok, I liked getting caught up in the drama of everything because, it's addicting. It's fun. Once you've been canceled, though, you kind of realize how toxic it is. And ever since then, I've definitely taken a step back and just been like, everyone has a different opinion. If I enjoy something and it's not dangerous to like appreciate it or whatever, then I'm going to just enjoy it. That's kind of actually how I felt about Alchemized, was just, I think the trigger warnings at the start are needed. I think it's not a book for everyone, but the fact that I enjoyed it and respected it, if people want to cancel me over that, it's a book. It's propaganda for anything. It's not like, it's fiction. Let people have their opinions. If people like Bridgerton, great. If people think it's terrible because it differs from the books, fine, whatever. Just let people be.
No, I feel like a lot of people agreed with your point on like not being for everybody. I feel like a lot of people appreciated you saying that. I would say your review of Alchemized does not intrigue me to read it. I just feel like I don't like sad books. That's why I don't read a lot of thrillers. I actually don't know how you read so many thrillers and don't go to sleep every night with anxiety, because even the Woman in Sweet 11 like stressed me out, and like she was in very low risk situation.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't love sad books, so I don't know if I would enjoy it.
Yeah. I honestly don't think you would. And the last line is very sad, just in like a bittersweet kind of way. The author has literally said, like, she will not write this book from the male character's point of view because it would be too sad and too traumatic. So that should give you an idea. Like, if the author's like, hey, it's not good from his point of view, I gave you the best version I could. It's a dark book.
How dark do you think the author had to be to write this kind of book?
I literally said I would never read something from her that wasn't published. Like, I would never read something of hers on the deep dark web, because if this book got published, I can't imagine what she's writing that like wouldn't make it through a publisher. Like this, she had to obviously change it to make it through the publisher, and it made it through. But I imagine it may have been worse in its original version, manacled. It may have been even more graphic and dark and terrible. At least that's kind of the sense I'm getting from people, is that, it's a little toned down. So I'm like, I would never read her fan fiction stuff because I imagine she writes very, very dark. And yeah, she's fantastic, but scary dark.
You always said when you wanted to write your book, you wanted to kill everybody at the end. Do you still have that take?
No, I don't think I have that take, because I actually think that Holly Jackson book we read, her adult debut, I think that may have changed my opinion because I was mad about how it ended. Like, as a reader, I felt completely betrayed. And I think that taught me my lesson. And I don't want to betray readers if I ever get to the point of publishing a book.
Yeah. You didn't read Divergent.
I started it. I didn't finish the series, but I do know how it ends.
This is when I lost my trust in an author, and that is when I said no.
This is a boundary I will not cross.
And that was when I was 13.
I love that we all have that one author that traumatized us enough to be like, you know what? That's not okay to do.
Well, you brought up reading the Red Queen series.
Mhm.
So I did not finish that series because I heard the ending, not like in a killing way, but in like who ends up together way. It does not end up how
Okay.
you would want it to. I think I was like 3 books in and I said, you know what? I don't need to finish this. It's not going to end the way I want it. I'm going to end it here where I want it.
Yeah. I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm just going to leave it there.
But you said something about how it's like really similar to Powerless. I read 2 books in the Powerless series. It is it's super plagiarized, but it's super not good. I don't understand how it's people's favorite books ever.
Powerless?
Yeah, like the 2,
Yeah.
I only read the first 2 and they're just boring.
Yeah. So, from what I understand of this Powerless Red Queen scandal, Red Queen came out 10 years before Powerless.
Yes.
Then Powerless came out. It got really, really popular. And then people were leaving comments on Victoria Aveyard's social medias, who wrote Red Queen, which came out 10 years before, saying she plagiarized Powerless when her book came out first. And the Powerless fan base, I guess, is just really vocal and sometimes feeding maybe into that toxicity that I've experienced on BookTok. I don't know. I'm not on BookTok. Don't come for me, Powerless fans. I'm going to read Powerless and give it a chance, okay? I may love it too. But the point is, technically, Red Queen came out first. So if anyone plagiarized anyone, it would have been the person who wrote Powerless. But again, I haven't read them. So I said this year, I want to read both series and see what I think. Because I've also seen Powerless people be like, look, it's not plagiarized. It's just similar tropes. It's just similar whatever, which happens in fantasy. So I don't know. I want to give it all a fair shot, but it doesn't give me comfort to know that the first 2 books are boring.
People love it. Like I think I'm the minority there, but I like forced myself through the second book. The first one wasn't that bad, but it was very much like deja vu. Like I'm reading Red Queen 2.0.
Okay.
The girl, she plays red, but she like somehow it ends up in the competition and she has power. Like it's the same story. It's literally like cut and paste.
Okay.
It's very similar, which I think, I mean, if you haven't read Red Queen, then you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
If you're old and you've read Red Queen because it came out 10 years ago, because I think I read it like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, it sounds very similar. But I read the second book and it was just like, she was like going across a desert for like, I feel like half the book. And I was like, what am I reading? I'm so done. So I did not go forward, but people probably will hate me for that, but I don't really care. That's my opinion on that. I know. I actually liked Red Queen. I liked the first 3 and I was really rooting for 2 people to be together. And then I found out they're not. And I said, why am I here?
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. I will. Yeah. I want to read both of them this year. Do you think you're going to go back and finish them? Because I know we've talked about finishing series this year.
So I will if we're going to discuss it. That will
Okay.
motivate me to do it.
Okay.
But I will not reread them. There will be like a Cliff Note lookup and then we'll start over. The series that I really actually want to finish, I read the first book, was the Unravel Me series, or it's like, I don't know if it's the first book is Unravel Me, but you know what I'm talking about?
Shatter Me.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I know what you're talking
Where,
about.
like,
Yeah.
everyone talks about this series and there's like 20 books in it actually, but they're very small. But I'm like, I read the first one. It was a little YA, but I'm like, why is everyone so obsessed? I need to know.
Yeah.
So we are that's one that I like really want to finish.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I have several on mine that I need to finish as well. It's funny because when you first said we should hold each other accountable and finish series this year, I was thinking, well, I don't really have that many because like it's just Outlander. And then I started looking at my bookshelf and I was like, okay, well, I started The Bone Witch and I never finished that. I started the A Fate of Wrath and Flame series by K.A. Tucker. I never finished that. And then I just started looking through. I was like, well, actually, I've started a lot of series that I just didn't finish. And it's not even that, like, I wanted to do The Bone Witch. I think I just got busy, maybe. It's not even like I fizzled out and was bored. It was just like I was too busy to keep going. So, yeah, I have several that I should get through, especially because I physically own them and I'm trying to get through my TBR.
Well, I was going to say, do you own them already?
Yeah. At least, so for A Fate of Wrath and Flame, I only own the first 2 books and I did read those. So I technically don't own the rest. But like The Bone Witch, I own all of them. Outlander, I own all of them. I also have literally still in the box set, wrapped in paper, the Caraval series and the, what's it called? From the Grishaverse, but not the Six of Crows ones, the original ones.
I forget the names, but I know what you're talking about.
They're literally somewhere here on my shelf.
No, I have a lot of series. Honestly, the biggest one is the From Blood and Ash series.
I have all of those.
We talked about that a lot. I think we've read the first book of the spinoff together. I gotta finish it. I think she lost the plot somewhere in book like 5, but
yeah.
We gotta finish.
That is one of those series that should have just been a trilogy, and it would have been great and fantastic. But she lost me. May have been reading. I was trying to recall. I think I may have been reading book 5, honestly. It may have only been book 4, but I think I made it all the way to book 5 and then I just was like, what are we doing here? And stopped. Never went back.
Yeah. I heard the spin-off one, the one that we started together, is the better series.
I have actually heard that as well. And I did enjoy that first book a lot. I also enjoyed Poppy and Castile. So, I mean, I'm not digging From Blood and Ash. It was actually kind of the series that got me into fantasy reading as an adult. I know the prequel that we did was also very good. And I don't know why I didn't continue it. Maybe just we read it when it came out, so you had to wait. And then by the time it came out, maybe I had other stuff to do.
I think I tried to read the 4th book of the first series, and when it first came out, and then at that point I forgot everything in the first 3, and then I'm like, do I really care? But my friend Ari is obsessed with the prequel series. She's like, that one's really good. You should read that. So I think I want to finish that one. Trying to think what other series I have. I want to read the next one in the Brimstone and Quicksilver series.
Yes.
I'm trying to think about other ones I have here. I have a list somewhere of all the series I've started. So we'll do that for another video. But yeah, we're going to finish our series this year. But okay, so what books did you also read this month that because we didn't discuss those?
I know we didn't really discuss them. So like I said, I read 6 thrillers. I've actually already talked about one of them, so I'm just going to briefly skip over it. It's This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. That's the one that's based on the Idaho murders, the Idaho 4 murders. And we've talked about that in a different video. I personally can't recommend it just because of the artistic liberties the author took with that. Next, I read Home is Where the Bodies Are. It was good. It was enjoyable. My mom and I have come up with, I don't know if we've come up with it. That sounds like we came up with something. This may be a well-known term. We call these popcorn reads in the thriller world. Like Home is Where the Bodies Are. It was a popcorn thriller. It's a good filler. It's a decent thriller book. It's not going to knock your socks off. The twist isn't going to be crazy. So I just gave that 3 stars, but it was good. And I'm glad I read it. And if another Geneva Rose book came up, I'd probably read it if I didn't have 1,000 books on my bookshelf already to read. But it was fine. It was kind of a bummer because I started with This Book Will Bury Me. Then I did Home is Where the Bodies Are, which was 3 stars. Then I did A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall, which I also only gave 3 stars. And I don't even remember what it's about. I did write a review. This is why I write reviews, because I'm like, I couldn't even tell you what this was about. It looks like I said it was an exciting thriller. I wanted to find out how it was going to end. And then I said, oh, but the author tried way too hard to make it twisty. So by the time it ended, you're not really sure who was involved in the murder, who was involved in the cover up. So yeah, I don't remember it though. Even reading that, I'm like, I don't remember what that was about. So that should tell you what you need to know there. Then we got good. I read The Soulmate by Sally Hepworth. This was my first Sally Hepworth book, and it will not be my last. As soon as I finished it, I went on to Libby and I was like, I want to check out every Sally Hepworth book. I didn't because I had a goal to read Alchemized this month. And so I saw they were available and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till next month maybe to do Sally Hepworth. But it was really good. I really liked it. It was kind of sad at the end though, which for thrillers, I normally like a little bit of a happily ever after if the thriller itself already has a murder or a kidnapping or something. You don't want it to completely end on a sad note. And this one, like it was fine, but it kind of didn't leave me feeling happy. So that was why it was 4 instead of 5 stars. But Sally Hepworth, if we do another thriller read together, I would recommend her. I think she was really, really good.
I need a redeeming thriller.
Yeah. Watch, we'll pick one by her and it'll be awful. But the one I read was great. I did Alchemized. I have a whole video up on Alchemized so people can check that out. I personally liked it. I do not think it's for everyone. Then we both did the Sweet and Woman 11, or the Woman in Sweet 11.
Sweet and Woman Alive.
That would be more of a romance, I think. So we're going to move on from that. And yesterday, look at how red I am. Yesterday, I finished All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. I believe we read a Stacey Willingham book, A Flicker in the Dark, for the podcast. And that's a Stacey Willingham book. And I didn't love it when I read it. Like, it was fine, but not great. I think All the Dangerous Things was a lot better. I would not classify it as a thriller, though. It is classified as a thriller, but it really read as just like a book on mother's grief and mother's guilt after her child was kidnapped. And then it really wasn't until like almost the actual climax of the book where you even realized it was a thriller. Like, I swear it was like just this really sad story, but like she's kind of coming to terms with things. And then all of a sudden she's like, wait, did I kill my own son? And you're like, what? And I won't tell you what happens, but that's kind of the climax. And then she figures out the stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then it ends. So it was good. And it was better, in my opinion, than A Flicker in the Dark. So if you liked A Flicker in the Dark, I think you'll like All the Dangerous Things. If you didn't like A Flicker in the Dark, you may still like All the Dangerous Things, but she's not my favorite thriller author. I read it because it was available and I'd heard good things and it was good, but I gave it 3 stars.
I don't remember A Flicker in the Dark at all, if I'm being honest. No recollection.
I think it was like a COVID book. Like one, it came out during COVID, but I'm pretty sure in the book, COVID is happening. I might be remembering this wrong, though.
I think that was like 59 days.
Oh, you're right. That was 59 days.
We did read that for the podcast as well.
You're right.
But I don't remember Flicker in the Dark. We probably did read it. Okay, so quickly, because we've been talking for probably way too long, what are your TBRs what's your goals for February?
Gosh, I should have made a list before we did this because in my brain, my goals are too lofty, I think, because February is our worst work month. But I know I'm going to start Wuthering Heights and see if I can get that done before the movie comes out. If not, this will just be a February book in general. Red Rising, we are doing that. I actually don't have a copy yet. I'm trying. That's beautiful.
I got paperback. I felt like I wanted a good paperback, which I probably will regret when he releases the new one, and it's probably in hardback. But for now, I do like a good paperback.
Paperback, too. I'm looking for a used copy in paperback because I'm trying not to buy new to save money. So I've been looking for a used copy. And then I would really, in an ideal world, like to go ahead and start the Red Queen series. It's a lofty commitment, though, and I don't know if I could get through all of them in a month, especially this month. So I'm concerned about making that a February goal, in which case, if I didn't do that, I would probably just do some thrillers, some popcorn thrillers to get me through. And then I forgot about this. I have to read. So I don't know if you see my bookshelf. I used to have all my Fairy Loot books turned around so you could see the pretty sprayed edges. I have turned them all back around so you see the spine, and I only get to show off the pretty edge once I've read them. So this is part of my goal this year, to read all the books I own. So one of the books I'm going to start next is a Fairy Loot book called A Dagger in the Flame.
Oh.
So I'm not sure how good it is. It doesn't have all that many reviews on Goodreads. Like, it's got maybe 4,000 reviews on Goodreads and a 3.8 rating. So not really sure, but that is one I'm going to do this month because I need to do like at least one Fairy Loot book. Really, I should be doing like one a week to get through all of these, but we're at least going to start with one a month. So that's the one I chose for this month.
So I'm also doing Red Rising. I'm going to finish Throne of Glass. So I have a 1,000-page book of Kingdom of Ash, and then I have the rest of the tandem read, which I'm only like 100-page in for each. So that should take me, honestly, I would say like the next 2 weeks. Then I'll start Red Rising, and then I'm currently listening to Heir Apparent, which actually
Okay.
is technically, I think, fiction as well. It's very much like The Crown coded.
Okay.
And I really like it. It's so what happens is like this girl is like third in line for the crown, and she like kind of like moved to Australia and like wants to be a normal person, and then her dad and brother die, and now she has to like kind of deal with the aftermath. And she's like going to like medical school, and she's like not
Okay.
planning to be queen anytime soon. And now she's first in line for the throne. So I haven't gone far. I'm only like 100 pages in, but it's really good. I've been wanting to like read it more. I usually like listen to my audiobooks, my walks, but the snow's all over the place, and I haven't had a chance to go for a walk outside. So I've been doing the treadmill. But when I go on the treadmill, I like to watch something instead of listening. So maybe I gotta start. I actually kind of maybe switch it to physical, but I do really like that one, so I want to finish that. But that's kind of all I have for this month so far. I'll probably
Yeah.
sneak a few romances in there because it is February. But I say a lot of the romances that I want to read this year are coming out March, April, and May.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any like new romances on the docket, but I have, well, he can't see them, but I have so many romances on my shelf that I do need to read. You know, anytime I see a Catherine Sinner book, I buy it, even if I don't read it right away. So I'm like, okay, I know she's tried and true. I could do a Catherine Sinner book in the month of February, or an Allie Hazelwood, or a Abby Jimenez.
I also have, well, we have that cowboy romance book too.
Yeah, I forgot we're supposed to read that at some point.
So Tom, for my birthday, he wanted to plan a sweet little book day for me. He found the Barnes & Noble out in the Hamptons was doing this like book signing for these two authors that I have never heard of before.
Okay.
So we go there thinking there's gonna be like a big line. We are the only people in the store.
Okay.
It was, I love him. It was so awkward. I wanted to crawl out of my skin because I walked up to these girls and I'm like, hi. And they like asking why I'm there. And I'm like, don't really know you, but we're having a sweet book day. So they gave me like, they like literally like signed it. Like, we're like, dear Kayla, very sweet girls. 2 books I got. Tom bought me 2 books. They're about like,
That's sweet.
they wrote like little, little messages.
That is really sweet.
So I'm gonna read one of them this month. It was so thoughtful, but I'm still cringing at myself because I'm just like standing there. It was so.
And they're thinking like, oh my gosh, our #1 fan, she showed up, and you're like, I don't know who you are. I'm happy to be here.
It like still. It's been a couple months and it still haunts me a little bit because I've been to so many book events in Manhattan where like you go and there's like a whole lecture and there's like 100 people there and like no one talks to you, no one asks you why you're there. It was just me and these 2 authors.
Tom, find these 2 authors. Like, what? How did this happen?
I think he went on Barnes & Noble website and was like, oh, nice day out east. We'll go to a bookstore. It was a very nice day out east. The bookstore was my least favorite part, though.
Honestly, like, that was so thoughtful of him, you know, like, very good book boyfriend.
I mean, I have to read one of them because I do think it's travel romance.
Okay.
So one takes place in Italy and one's in like Scotland. So I might do that one because it's like cold out and I'm just cold in general. And we'll save Italy till it gets a little warmer. But maybe it's my new favorite book. We don't know.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe they'll blow up and then all of a sudden you have a personalized signed copy.
So hopefully. No, very sweet. So that's also my goal for the month. And I think it'll make Tom happy if I read it too. But yeah, that's all I have. I guess we can end it here.
I know.
Thanks for listening. This is Kayla.
And Marissa.
And make sure to hit subscribe and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at BookTok's Podcast. Also, join our reading group on Fable. It's called just BookTok's Podcast as well. Have a good night.